If you're involved in a car crash, would you know what to do? Well, if not, listen up, because we're going to give you a few tips of what you should do immediately after an accident. Now, in upcoming videos, we're going to talk more about what to do after the accident, like talk to, how to talk to and deal with insurance companies and body shops. But for now, let's cover what we're going to do immediately after the accident. One thing I do want to mention is that I'm not affiliated with a body shop, an insurance company, or a law firm, because I know a lot of these tips and that you'll see online or videos, it's one of those three, and they're kind of giving a twist to their benefit. This is just the knowledge that I've gathered, and I'd like to share it with you. The first thing you do if you're involved in an accident, if it was something like this pickup in this picture, the first thing I think I would do is cry. No, but seriously, the first thing you want to do is seek medical attention if needed. Call 911 and get an ambulance on the way if anybody's injured. If you or your passenger or anybody else is injured, get an ambulance on the way. But if nobody's injured, the first thing to do is just take a breath, stay calm, and go through the steps that I'm going to talk about. One question you always not sure of is, do you move your car or not? Because you hear it both ways. You can even research this online, and I've researched this online, and some claim to do not move your car, and some say to claim to move it off to a safe location. On State Farm's website and Edmunds, they recommend go ahead and pulling off to a safe nearby location. Now, I've also read on some law firm websites, they claim do not move your car. So what do? Well, you may want to call the police first, when you call 911, and see what they do recommend in your state. But what I think I would do, I would just go with the safest option. Safety should always be first, and pulling your car off to the side is going to eliminate, or could eliminate, another accident. So I think I would go ahead and pull it off to the side if it's drivable. What you don't want to do is you never want to leave the scene of the accident. Pull it off and then go ahead and continue, getting the information that you need. Now, if your car does not operate, you're going to have to stay in your car because you're not going to be able to move it. So what you do then is you just stay in your car, keep your seatbelt on if another accident should happen, and that happens a lot. Keep your seatbelt on until help arrives. But the best thing you can do is to be prepared for an accident. Now, I know no one really likes to think of preparing for an accident, but thousands of accidents have happened every day, and if you're prepared, it'll really simplify this process and take a lot of stress out of the way. Some of the things to prepare for is to have a location in your glove box and envelope, to have all the information you need, your insurance card, vehicle registration, emergency contacts. If you should become injured, having that information there would be, real helpful. You're also going to be stressed out, and just having all that ready, is going to make it a lot simpler process. Medical card, if you're allergic to any type of medications. Smartphones, just about everybody has a smartphone. Those come in real helpful. If you're involved in an accident, you can take photos, pictures, videos, record information. So if you have a smartphone, that'd be real helpful. If not, pencil and paper and disposable camera would be fine also. Have a flashlight, because the accident may happen at night, so having a flashlight would be handy. And again, with the smartphones, some of those have apps that have flashlights. Flares to set out to warn other people that there's been an accident, so for safety. And they also have accident kits that have a lot of this stuff. It has forms to fill out that ask for the insurance information and the name of the other driver and witnesses. It has all this on forms for you, and a disposable camera, and just comes in a little pack that you can carry, in your glove box or in your trunk area. And those are real handy to have, but you don't have to have those as long as you have this other stuff ready and somewhere that you can get to it. Now, the thing I really want to talk about, which most people don't think of, is to have a body shop in mind. You don't want to do this after the accident because, for one, it's stressful. You may or may not have a car. You're in a different, mindset. So I would recommend that you find a body shop that you're comfortable with before the accident ever happens. Now you can do this by reviews, and going and visiting some shops. And some things to look for is shops that really support education. Ones that are sending their technicians to I-CAR classes, that are ASE certified. Um, and also, when you visit the shop, you will know if you're comfortable dealing with this certain business or not. And this is very important because if you was going to have a heart bypass, I'm sure you would want to research and make sure the doctor's going to do the best job for you. But more people are injured and killed in car crashes than on the operating table having a heart bypass. So I think you should really consider uh, having a shop in mind that's going to do a good job. Now, don't just go try to find the cheapest shop, because if your car is not properly repaired, you could be riding a death trap. So having a reputable shop that you know is going to do a good job for you, you've already visited with them, or done a lot of reviews, having that body shop name in mind is really going to simplify the process. And a lot of insurance companies, they will recommend a body shop for you, but you got to keep in mind that they are thinking about themselves. Now, it may be a good shop that they recommend, or it may not. They may have direct repair shops that work for them at discounted prices, and that may not be the best option to take. So having the body shop in mind is going to really put you ahead of the game. But first things first, let's get back to the accident. Now, we'll talk more about dealing with insurance and body shops later. But right after the accident, turn your hazard lights on. This will warn other drivers, and help prevent another accident. Now, whether you pull off to the side or not, that's going to be a call you have to make. Like I said, I would go ahead and pull off to the side, or you may call the 911 and see what they want you to do, in the certain state that you're in. But if not, if it's drivable, I would probably go ahead and pull off to the side for safety. But don't just because you turn your hazard lights on, don't assume that everybody knows that you was in an accident or can see you, because you may have been hit from the back and may have busted the tail lights. So, but turn them on, but still be very cautious. Pull to the side, if the vehicle is drivable. If it's not drivable, be sure and stay in your car. Keep your seatbelt on until help arrives. Call the police. And again, some states, if it's a minor accident, the officers may not show up, and if they don't, you're going to have to record all the necessary information. If they do show up, a lot of times they will make a report for you. And if not, you're going to have to exchange this information with the other people involved in the accident. And you're going to need to record their names, their addresses, phone numbers, insurance information, all the information you can get about the driver. You're going to need to collect that information, and they will need to get yours as well. You need to take any notes about the accident, weather conditions, time of day. If there was any witnesses, be sure and get their contact information, their name, address, phone number, and photos. Take some photos of the accident scene. If you got a smartphone, you may even take a video, of the damage to both vehicles, and the more information that you can collect, the better off you will be. Then, if the officer does not file a report, you're going to have to file the accident report. And states probably vary somewhat. Usually, this can be done at the motor vehicle department or at the police department. So depending on where your state, whenever you ask the officer when you call them, if they come out and do a report, or if not, where you need to go file this report at. They will know that information. And then you're going to need to call the insurance company and then give them all the information that you collected. The other car involved, their insurance information, and give them all the information needed. So let's recap this real fast. He is involved in an accident. You want to turn your hazard lights on. Call for medical help if needed by calling 911, and call the police, at 911 as well. The police may give you further instructions to leave your car there or to pull it off to the side. If your car does not operate, be sure and stay in your car with your seatbelt on until help arrives. You need to exchange information with the other driver, the names, numbers, contact information, insurance, license plate. Want to be sure and get the license plate. Exchange all that information. Record any notes about the accident, the time of day, the weather condition. If there's any witnesses, get their contact information. Take photos or videos, with your smartphone or disposable camera that you have. And then you're going to need to file an accident report or pick one up if the officer filed that. And then you're going to call your insurance company. And we'll talk more about what to do from there in an upcoming video. Next video we're going to talk about choosing a quality body shop. And I mentioned a little bit about that, but we're going to go more in depth of how to choose and select a body shop. We'll give you more tips for that. And that wraps up this video. And if you like this video tutorial, I'd really appreciate it if you would like it and be a resource by sharing this with friends, because there's a lot of people that don't know what to do. There's a lot of people that's never been involved in an accident. A lot of times this is their first time, whenever they have one, and they don't have a clue. So if you'll share this with your friends, these upcoming videos, you'll be helpful to them by sharing this with them and give you, some ideas of what to do if you're ever involved in a car crash. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.